My family's century-old home was reduced to rubble in 17 minutes by an HOA bulldozer, called a safety hazard, but I held the valve to their 2,000 cow ranch's water on by nightfall. Their queen was in cuffs, her empire exposed. I'm Caleb Reed, and this is how I turned their wrecking ball into their reckoning. Drop where you're watching from below. This one's gonna hit you square in the chest. It was a quiet morning in Pine Hollow, Texas, the kind where the sagebrush scent clings to everything and the past feels alive. I was in Mom's sewing room, folding her embroidered napkins, her last work before cancer claimed her 3 months back when the earth rumbled, not from the highway 2 miles off, but something meaner, closer. Through the window, a yellow bulldozer loomed at my property line, snarling like a beast. Helen Carver, HOA president, stood there, clipboard gleaming, red nails catching the sun, backed by board members, inspectors, and a cop who looked like he'd rather be fishing. I stepped out, Mom's napkin in hand, heart sinking. "What's this?" I asked, voice steadier than I felt. Helen's smile was cold as a knife. "Mr. Reed, your house is a hazard. Foundations crumbling, roofs done, a danger to Pine Hollow." She thrust a document at me, official but wrong font, not the HOA's usual, with a photo of a wrecked building from another town. This was my home, built in 1924, where my great-grandpa raised Grandpa, where Mom taught me to count fireflies. It's weathered storms, time, everything. "This is fake," I said, gripping the napkin. Ellen didn't flinch. "Safety trumps feelings. Board voted demolitions legal." The cop shrugged, the bulldozer roared. "You can't," I protested, but it charged. 17 minutes later, my home, Mom's kitchen, Grandpa's porch was dust. Helen watched, emotionless, then walked away. I stood in the wreckage, but Mom's words echoed, "Lose what you love, find your strength." Helen didn't know my family's secret ran deeper than her machine. That night, at Mom's grave, I whispered, "They think they broke us, but you taught me better." I went to the lot, now a scar, and opened the hidden root cellar under the oaks. Inside, stone walls held great-grandpa's 1924 blueprints, pipes under my land feeding 60% of Pine Hollow, including Helen's Carver Ranch. A document gave us perpetual water rights, untouchable. A brass valve, green with age, controlled it all. 1 ton could choke her empire. I held back. Mom taught patience over rage. I called Anna Torres, a high school friend turned property lawyer. "Water rights from the 20s, she said, voice sharp over her kid's noise. "Those are bulletproof in Texas. Send the docs." I snapped photos, feeling power in my hands. Helen texted, "Grief stuff, Caleb, but lies about the HOA won't help. Get help." She was smearing me, scared. At the diner, folks whispered, "Caleb's unhinged since his mom died." Helen was fast, but I was ready. I printed 50 invitations for a memorial for Mom on the lot, hinting at our water legacy. Neighbors rallied. Mrs. Garcia offered her peach cobbler. Sam Lopez, a reporter, wanted to cover it. Saturday, 40 folks turned the rubble into a celebration. Mrs. Garcia's cobbler was gold, her cornbread charcoal classic. I shared Mom's love for community, then said, "My great-grandpa built the water system under us, feeding Carver Ranch. Water's life, you protect it." Helen stormed in, suit pristine. "Caleb, using your mother's death for lies is low," she snapped. I smiled. "Want cobbler, Helen?" Mom said sharing builds community. Neighbors leaned my way. Mrs. Garcia muttered, "That boy's got heart." Helen left, rattled. Monday, Anna called. Helen embezzled $2.3 million in HOA funds for her ranch and 3 pesos felony. My heart raced. She was a crook, not just a bully. I turned the valve a quarter, cutting pressure. "The water board called," I said, "legal maintenance." Helen phoned, frantic. Caleb, stop messing with utilities. I stayed calm. Just upkeep, Helen, check your pipes. She offered $2.5 million for my land. Not for sale, I said, smelling blood. I met Sam at his paper. How do you prove HOA theft? I asked. He grinned, diving into Anna's evidence. He found Helen's ranch wasn't Catlight, was a meth lab, needing my water for processing. The DEA had watched her for 18 months, blocked by her fortress. My land's high ground was their surveillance shot. She raised my house to stop them. Sam linked me to Agent Carla Ruiz. Your valve's their lifeline, she said, showing photos. Helen in tactical gear, hazmat crews. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., shut it off. They'll panic, will strike. At 9:45, in the cellar, Carla's voice crackled, go. I shut the valve, whispering, for you, Mom. By noon, Helen's crew scrambled, moving gear. At 2:15, she called her cartel bosses. Carla's queue. Helicopters roared, agents stormed, charges echoed. I watched through a periscope as Carla cuffed Helen on my land's ruins. She mouthed, why? I thought, because some fights are worth winning. 6 months later, my new house rose where the old fell. Neighbors built it. Mrs. Garcia insured a killer kitchen. Helen got 12 years, flipped for 6, her ranch seized. The DEA's $200 million bus saved lives. Anna's foundation, funded by my settlement, fights for communities. Sam's story won awards. Helen's prison letter hit, I fought to survive loss. You fought for legacy. Are we the same? Standing by the valve, water flowing free, I wondered, should I have taken her money, moved on? Or was justice saving Pine Hollow? Tell me below. Hot's right. Got a bully who tried to break you? Share it. Let's keep this fight going. My family's century-old home was reduced to rubble in 17 minutes by an HOA bulldozer, called a safety hazard, but I held the valve to their 2,000 cow ranch's water, and by nightfall, their queen was in cuffs, her empire exposed. I'm Caleb Reed, and this is how I turned their wrecking ball into their reckoning. Drop where you're watching from below. This one's gonna hit you square in the chest. It was a quiet morning in Pine Hollow, Texas, the kind where the sagebrush scent clings to everything and the past feels alive. I was in Mom's sewing room, folding her embroidered napkins, her last work before cancer claimed her 3 months back, when the earth rumbled, not from the highway 2 miles off, but something meaner, closer. Through the window, a yellow bulldozer loomed at my property line, snarling like a beast. Helen Carver, HOA president, stood there, clipboard gleaming, red nails catching the sun, backed by board members, inspectors, and a cop who looked like he'd rather be fishing. I stepped out, Mom's napkin in hand, heart sinking.